What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video on my channel Skotrix, and today as you can see we are back, but not actually on NBA 2K21. Today we are going to be on this tier chart right here, and we're going to be ranking all of the best finishing badges in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Now I did make this video once already when Next Gen came out in November, but that's been like 6 or 7 months, so I'm going to redo it right now with all of the updated tier, all of the updated rankings. And this video is going to be part 1 of a 4-part series that I do over the next 4 days where I'm going to be doing every single category. So today we'll be finishing, tomorrow we'll be shooting, the next day we'll be playmaking, and then Thursday will be defense. So I'm going to have you covered for every single badge category for NBA 2K21 Next Gen. But starting off today here with finishing, we're going to get right into this, but I just want to mention really quickly before I do, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you click that subscribe button. Only about 2% of people who watch my videos are actually subbed to my channel, so if you click that subscribe button right now, you can join the 2% gang. I really appreciate it. It helps out a lot. And also I stream on Twitch. My Twitch link will be down in the description below. Make sure you go follow me over there if you enjoy watching live streams. But with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into the video here. Alright, so I'm just going to get right into it. I'll just put each badge into a category right here, and I'll just get into briefly what it does. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want the video to be too long, so I'll try to be as fast and as brief and as straightforward as possible. So first up right here we have Teardropper, and I'm going to put Teardropper into the F category. Not much to say about Teardropper, honestly. It's pretty much useless unless you shoot like teardroppers or floaters or whatever, but most people don't, so it's really a pretty useless badge. I don't recommend it. There's so many better finishing badges. Next up right here we have Slithery Finisher. Slithery Finisher, S category badge for sure. One of the best finishing badges in the game. I definitely recommend this for any slasher build, whether you're a point guard, wing, big man, whatever type of slasher build you are. Definitely Slithery Finisher is a must-have finishing badge. And next up right here we have Rise Up. I'm going to put Rise Up into the A category. This is a super good finishing badge for any slashing big men. Slashing guards, you might not need it as much. It still is a good badge if you have enough badges to get it, but it's really more important for big men's like power forwards, whether you're like 6'8", 6'9", whatever. This is going to be a badge that you're definitely going to want to invest into. Rise Up, super good finishing badge right there for any slasher build. Next up right here we have Putback Boss. Putback Boss is a mid badge. I'm going to put it into the D category. It could go into the C category maybe, but I'm going to put it into the D category right here because I think it is slightly below average. Basically, it's pretty obvious what Putback Boss does. It helps you get putback dunks. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're doing a lot of putbacks, you might want to put this on, but if not, you can probably ignore it. And you do actually need this badge to do a straight up putback dunk where like the ball misses and you basically alley-oop it off the rim and dunk it. You do need this badge to be able to do that. So if you want to be able to do that, invest into this badge, but if not, it's really not too important. So mid-tier badge, but not super good. Next up right here we have a super good badge, and that's going to be Posterizer, and Posterizer definitely goes into the S tier. This is one of the best badges in the game. Obviously it helps you get more contact dunks, helps you finish in contact more, so super good, super fun badge to play with as well. As long as you have contact dunks and you can get Posterizer, I definitely recommend getting it as high as possible. And next up right here we have Post Spin Technician. This badge is alright if you do the post spin cheese a lot, but if not, it's pretty much useless for you. I'll put it into the D category as well. It really is a mid type of badge right here, similar to Putback Boss, and you really don't need it unless you're doing post spins, so you're gonna know if you need it. If you do a lot of post spins, put it on. If you don't, ignore it. Pretty self-explanatory for that badge. Now next up right here we have Lob City Finisher. I'm going to put Lob City Finisher into the B category. This is a pretty good finishing badge, slightly above average. I definitely recommend this for anybody who catches a lot of lobs. If you're playing a power forward or a small forward or a center or whatever, this is a super good badge for you. And even if you're playing point guard and you're out on the fast break a lot, catching a lot of lobs, I definitely recommend Lob City Finisher for you. Pretty good finishing badge right there for basically any slasher build. And next up right here we have Deep Hooks. I'm going to put Deep Hooks, well, this is kind of a hard one to rank. I'll put it into the C category. It is good if you're shooting a lot of hook shots. If you're a post scorer, definitely invest in deep hooks. If you're not, it's pretty much useless for you because nobody really shoots hook shots unless you're a post scorer. So this is pretty similar to a badge like Post Spin Technician. You'll know if you need it. You'll know if you don't need it. It's really pretty self-explanatory right there. Next up right here we have Highlight Film, and Highlight Film is an interesting one. Basically what it does is it will give your teammates a takeover boost if you do a dunk either on the fast break or if you do like a stylish dunk, like one of those really fancy animations, it will give your teammates a takeover boost. So it's a decent badge. It's kind of tough to rank also, just because it's really dependent on the player and who you're playing with and if they need the takeover boost. and if you're able to get it, if you're doing a lot of flashy dunks or a lot of fast break dunks. So I'm going to put this into the B category. It's a pretty good badge. If you're playing the rec or something like that, I definitely recommend it. If you're playing the park, it might not be as important, but it still is a decent badge. So I'm going to put it into the B category right here. here, highlight films, definitely a solid badge right there for any finishing build. And next up right here, we have another really good badge, and that's Heat Seeker. It's really between the A and the S tier, one of the best badges in the game, honestly. I'll put it into the S tier because it is really good. Basically what Heat Seeker does is it will give you a takeover boost whenever you dunk or do a layup or whatever. So if you have a slashing takeover especially, I definitely recommend putting on a Heat Seeker because it will help you get your takeover like 5 times faster. It's a really good badge, and I definitely recommend getting it up as high as you can for any slasher build. Now next up right here we have Giant Slayer. I'm gonna put Giant Slayer into the, I'll put it into the D category, and the reason why is because you don't really find yourself in a lot of situations where you're going to need this badge, honestly, unless you're like a 6'3" point guard with like a really high dunk or something like that, and you're always trying to dunk on big men. Then you can get this, combine it with Posterizer, and it'll definitely help. But if you're anywhere in the area of like 6'6", 6'7" or taller, this is basically a useless badge because most big men in this game are like 6'8" or 6'9", so it really won't give you a big boost unless they're at least 4 inches taller than you. So if you're 6'6", you're rarely going to be going up against people who are 4 inches taller than you, and you're not really going to get as much of a boost from this badge. So I don't really recommend it for anybody unless you're, like I said, a smaller slasher who is always trying to dunk on bigger opponents. Then it's a good badge. But next up right here we have Fearless Finisher, and I'm going to put Fearless Finisher into the A category. This is a pretty good badge. I definitely recommend it for pretty much any slasher build. As long as you have about 15 badges or so, definitely invest onto Fearless Finisher, either gold or Hall of Fame, whatever you can get it on. It really is a good badge, and I definitely recommend it for everybody. Now next up right here we have Drop Stepper. I'm going to put Drop Stepper into the C category. Obviously if you're a post scorer, you might want to invest into Drop Stepper. If you're not a post scorer, you might not want to invest into Drop Stepper because it's pretty much going to be useless for you, unless maybe you're like a 6'9" power forward who does a lot of drop steps on smaller opponents. But if you're going up against a really small opponent, you won't need this badge to be able to do a successful drop step anyways. So it really is one of those badges that it's decent in the right situations, but for most people they're not going to need it. So that's why it's only in the C category right here. It really could go even lower, but I don't want to put it lower because it's not a terrible badge, it's just not all that useful. And next up right here we have Dream Shake. I'm going to put Dream Shake into the C category as well. Again, another good badge for post scorers, one of the best badges for post scorers if you're going to be doing a lot of more advanced post moves. But other than that, you really don't need it. If you're a guard, you don't need it. If you're any sort of slashing big man, you really don't need it. So yeah, that's Dream Shake right there. Next up we have Back Down Punisher. I'm going to put Back Down Punisher into the B category. This is a pretty good badge. Obviously, if you're going to be backing down people a lot, you're definitely going to want this badge. If you're not backing down people, just like every other badge really in this category right here, the C and kind of the B and the D category, you'll know if you need it, you'll know if you don't need it. But it does help out quite a bit. So if you're really strong and you're going up against weaker opponents, definitely invest into this badge because it does give a significant boost when you're backing down your opponents. It makes it a lot easier. You're going to push them around a lot more. So yeah, that's Back Down Punisher. Next up right here, this is actually the final badge. We have Acrobat, and I'm going to put this into the A category. This is a really decent badge for any build, but where it really shines is with guard slasher builds. When you're going to be doing acrobatic finishes at the rim, it's super good, and I definitely recommend it. Or any guard build, whether you're a point guard or shooting guard, or even if you're a big man and you have a lot of finishing badges, you could definitely invest into Acrobat. It is a really good all-around finishing badge. So yeah, that's actually the final rating for the best finishing badges in NBA 2K21 Next Gen, updated to May 2021, and I'm sure it will stay pretty much like this for the rest of the year. So this should be the final video that I make on the NBA 2K21 Next Gen finishing badges. This is the final chart right here. I know there's nothing in the E category, but I really just had to create a buffer because that's how bad Teardropper is. It really belongs all by itself. Way down here, it pretty much is a useless badge. So these are pretty much the 5 categories right here from best to worst. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Like I said, only 2% of people who watch my videos are actually subbed to the channel. So if you click that subscribe button right now, you can join the 2% gang. I really appreciate it. It helps it a lot. And also I stream on Twitch. I appreciate all the support on my Twitch channel as well. The link will be down in the description if you enjoy watching live streams. I really do appreciate all the people who have been following me over there. But yeah, that's going to be it. All right. Peace.